welcome back to the early late night live show. Our very special guest, and he's very special because he found my glasses. I didn't know where they were in the studio because I didn't have my glasses on. My eyes were starting to hurt. Patrick Jerome, he's a writer, he's a director, and he's a savior of my eyes right now. So welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here, and thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, this is so cool. The trailer for your film looks awesome. It looks like a really cool movie.
It's a lot of work, of course, and then it's a thriller, as you can tell, with the title Assassin Behind the Glass.
Yep.
Which was, this is something that is going good for the movie right now.
Right.
It's the cast, the trailer, the poster, everything.
I know, it's the business side of show business, and everyone seems to forget the business side of it.
I mean, a lot of people don't do these. This is pretty impressive.
Well, actually, every movies we made, we always have something like that going on. This movie before that we made, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Oh.
It was an Impression. That's a movie we did about 2 summers ago. Every summer we tend to do something, to work on a new project.
Now, how many shooting days? So this is Assassin Behind the Glass. This is a 2-hour film, or was it, how long is the movie?
It's 105 minutes.
105 minutes.
Okay. Feature length.
Yeah,
film,
feature.
yeah.
Now, how many shoot days was that?
Well, it takes us about 5 weeks to shoot the movie. And
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, we like shooting in a Hollywood style, which is, especially when you have to bring the actors out of town. We had people coming from California, from New York to come here, so you had to have a schedule, where they stay in a hotel and then you shoot straight,
Right.
It's not an every weekend shoot. No, we have to shoot straight. So that's why it took 5 weeks. And of course, there were some establishing shots that we had to shoot. And we had a car explosion scene that we had to look for a place to do it. Actually, we ended up coming to New Hampshire, coming to New Hampshire Film Center.
Is it that one right there? Yeah.
If you're going to blow up something, you better come to New Hampshire.
Actually, the New Hampshire Film's office was, wonderful, and then they really helped us out. And we wanted to do it in Massachusetts, but anyway, it ended up working out.
Yeah, if you're gonna do weapons and explosions, it's probably best to not do it in Massachusetts. That's,
Yes.
Yeah, we're a little more forgiving up here. For,
a little bit more. Yeah.
Things that go bang.
Yeah,
in general.
Yeah, we don't even notice something blew up. We filmed the fight scene, and the fire department's on the other side of the fence. We did a fight scene for about 2 hours. People screaming. It took an hour before the fire department actually come over and say, maybe there's something wrong over here.
I hear you.
So tell us a little bit about this film, Assassin Behind the Glass.
Well, actually, as you mentioned about the firefighters showing up, we ended up we were filming in Lawrence, and then we ended up shooting in a one-way street.
Right.
And it was like, a bypass shooting, shoot
Right, yeah.
out. And then as we were shooting it, and the police arrived because somebody called,
Right.
It was pretty scary. And then actually they were pretty cool. And then one of them had come to the film festival and recognized me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you, Baba. And then we started chatting.
Well, this was a fake drive-by shooting. I know. That's why they were pretty calm. They're like, oh, cool.
I know.
They're probably all taking selfies like, oh my God, like that.
Yes,
There's
and
nothing
then we
wrong.
ended up saying, wait a minute, while all your cars are here, do you mind if we take some shoots while your cars are here? They said, oh yeah, cool.
Were you guys using blanks during the shooting?
No, actually, we use fake guns, but they are replicas. They look like real guns, but we do any sound, visual effect, we do it on post.
Yeah, sure.
Whether it's the flash in the car and the sound.
Well, especially when you film in the city, you don't really want to be making too much noise.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
If you have the replicas, they're made for that.
Right.
It's just like in some situation, you have to let the police know. If you go into some areas, like we have chasing in downtown Boston, that's different.
Right.
Now, did you get a permit for that scene? And
Yes.
They were all
we had to. Sometimes we get in trouble, but we always make sure that we cover our bases. Usually, if you call the police station, you let them know you're going to do it, and you have insurance. Usually, it helped. If they can send somebody, they send somebody, and that helped. Most of the time we are shooting, they show up.
Right.
So,
I'm sure they're protecting the city, but I'm sure part of them are just like, oh, I just
I
want
want
to
to see
movie.
the film.
This would
Maybe
be
I
an
can
easy
be in
shoot,
it.
yeah. Because
So
we
we
shot
had
a
that
sequence over here in Exeter, and we were going to have guys in paramilitary outfits and weapons and stuff like that. And so we went and let the police know.
Yeah.
And And they said, look, it's just good to let us know. So if someone calls us, we can say they're just filming over there, you know?
Exactly.
And it's
And also so we don't have SWAT breaking down the door.
right, yeah, you know. So a bunch of scared actors acting all tough and badass as soon as the cops come in. Oh my God, what's going on?
I only did that once.
So what was the coolest thing about making this movie for you personally?
The coolest thing about making this movie, actually, this movie came from a personal experience that I had. So my business has a post office in Dorchester, like, you know, a post office box. So I went there once and I find out, you know, there were like balloons and candle lit up in front of the post office. And then I find out a young black man was shot right in front of that post office. Whoa. And then twice I witnessed that. And then a few years later, months later maybe, and then I went back there, and then they built a bulletproof wall glass inside the post office.
A post office?
Yes. So it's like a bank. It's like now, you know, when you're talking to them, you can't even, you know, you have to go to under that little door and then to do your transaction and so on. So that's how I got inspired. I was joking with one of the managers about it.
Because I saw that in the trailer. I thought, well, what post office does actually have a bulletproof?
Yes.
It has to be Massachusetts.
Yeah, so basically that's what inspired me about the story.
What were they stealing? What was happening?
Well, I mean, it's the violence in the neighborhood. So that was their way of protecting their workers, I guess, you know. But that's their way of, you know, dealing with the violence. When in fact, it just raised the question, oh, really? Is there another way we can prevent that it doesn't happen?
Right, yeah, you know.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice, you know.
You know, but anyway, that's one of the, you know, major part of the story. You know, it's about Talia Smith, the main character, you know, who faced that situation, and then now she's facing whether or not she should snitch or not. You know,
right.
she doesn't want to be a rat. You have a reputation in the neighborhood. It's dangerous. So basically, that's what it is about.
And this is
so
like real. This is
basic,
fairly for certain people who grow up in inner city. This is like a real type of scenario.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Actually, the story is built on real event, on true events.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the coolest things that I like about it, because I used to be a caseworker back in the days before I worked full-time for the Boston International Film Festival. I came across a bunch of stories. So there's a bunch of little stories that goes in Assassin Behind the Glass that are like true, you know, fact and real stories that happen.
So when you, so obviously it looks like there's like DA characters and cop characters and a lot of like official characters.
Yes, we have FBI, we have drug dealers, we have all different kinds.
Now, did you like actually talk to law enforcement about the like how to write certain characters?
Actually, I wrote the entire script, and it's become a little challenging for me to go some of the legal steps that, you know, somebody should take. You know, if you face a situation like this. So I had to call a lawyer, a friend of mine, and he asked me to send him the script. So he had to read it and point out things to me to fix it out.
Right.
Yeah. So it was great, man. You know, Travis, if you are watching tonight, if you get to see this, thanks, man. I just helped him with a commercial to refer some actors to him for his firm. So usually those are the process that you have to take.
Right.
You know, you talk to some people who know the legal, you know, process, and then you go that way.
Right, and you also, but at the same time, you also don't want to be too rigid because you got to have. It's gonna be a film
well, of
too,
course,
you know?
it's entertainment.
Right.
At the same time, we add things like this movie has a big parkour scene, a big chase
I saw
scene.
that guy climbing the side of the building. That was that's cool. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just thinking, like, we had a judge read our, we did a film called Michael Lawrence, and there's a part that takes place in a court. So Terry knew a judge who got us to use a courtroom, and we had him read the courtroom scene.
In Lawrence, actually.
Yeah, in Lawrence.
Oh, wow.
And
Coincidence, huh?
but we had him read the scene. We were like, I don't know if this is accurate. Like, you know, I've never actually been on trial for murder before.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the best way to do it. That's the best way.
Right, yeah, and because if you want someone who's experienced to let you know, well, this is really kind of what they, because there's protocol and then there's what actually happens.
Yes.
You know, and that's where you have to try, you know, and you're right, at the end of the day, it's still entertainment. You know, if it's you know.
I mean, you have the freedom to stretch it in some direction if you want to make it more entertaining.
Right.
But at the same time, you want to stay as close to the real process as possible.
Now, how many feature films have you made?
Oh my goodness, that's a very good question. I don't know. I made about 25 films.
That's so cool.
I think about 13 to 14 feature films
That's so
for
cool.
now. So
That's so awesome.
it's been.
Yeah, you have
it's
people.
been an
No, that's
adventure.
right. I'm sorry to say this, but you have filmmakers come in and they're like they've made 2 films or something like that. You know, it's like they've been doing it for 30 years, and it's so cool. It's like you say go in and you get it done. You know.
Usually in the summer, like this is the time for us to make movies. You know, when summer is coming, the summer and fall.
Right.
You know, and then we try to always do something. You know, like this summer, and we're gonna work on a new movie project. Last summer we did one. The summer before that we did another one. So.
Do you get
it's good.
withdrawals when you're away from the camera for too long?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You start to go.
Sometimes I feel, you know, like, I miss the set. you know?
Yes.
He calls me fairly regularly and says, "When are we doing something? I need a camera."
My girlfriend would say, "You need to film something this weekend. Go away. You know, you're going nuts."
Yeah, actually, you know, in the winter time, it's okay. In the winter, that's when I would do my editing, you know?
Yeah.
You stay inside and you do the thing. But I can't stand, you know, looking, when the weather is beautiful outside and you're not filming, you know?
Yeah,
It's
it's,
like,
yeah.
I have to do something.
What am I gonna do with
You
my
know?
weekend? It's like.
I haven't noticed
Just-
your change for the weather though.
No, weather doesn't. Because
Yeah,
I
there's
love
like-
filming in the winter because it's a perfect atmosphere and it's consistent atmosphere. So I always say if you're gonna make a movie in New England, it better be based in summer or based in winter because those are the 2 longest things that you can fake. You have about 5 months you can fake winter, and you have about 6 to 8 months you can fake summer. We shot something that was based in the summer from early spring to November, you know, and that you know those are the times that you can kind of fake it. Anyways, we're gonna have you back on the show because this went way too quick. this went way too. Mitch, you want to have one last? You were looking at me like you have a question to ask. We got.
Well, I actually wanted to point out that he runs the Boston International Film Festival as well, which is
So that means we had to have him back
a
because
huge
this,
piece,
this
yeah.
is just.
There's so much to talk about, but I want to say Assassin Behind the Glass, look out for it. Actually, when we booked this interview here, I thought it would be available already, but it's not yet. They are still in the processing of closed captions.
Okay.
Which if I knew, I would have done it
Oh,
myself
where are you gonna
and
be?
get it
Where's it
done.
gonna be released to?
It's going to be released everywhere online, you know, on
Oh,
VOD,
cool.
Amazon, iTunes, Fandango, Google Plus.
Well, once you get the
name it.
link, you send it to us. We're gonna put it up on our Facebook page, and we'll
Thanks,
we'll,
man,
We'll
you
promote
know.
it, and I'm gonna get it because I want to see it. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. Well, hey, Patrick Jerome, Assassin Behind the Glass, coming out soon. When it comes out, we'll make sure that we'll let the whole world or whoever's watching our show, part of the world,
The best people.
the best people watch our show, but the even better people are sitting at this spot on the couch right here. We'll be right back with the Early Late Night Live Show.